Welcome to the Chronically Healthy Life show. When you hear the word chronically, do you automatically associate it with chronic disease? We all do. It's been programmed right into us. But what if we flip the whole idea on its head? Let's discover how we can create chronic health in our bodies, our minds, our finances, our relationships, and of course, in our lives. Let's jump right on in. I'm Andy, and joining me in everything is my life partner, Minna. And, today is Friday the 13th.
It is. Isn't it spooky?
It is spooky. That's why we had a little bit spooky background going on there.
So it's thinking about spooky. How do you like cobwebs?
I hate cobwebs. Well, actually, I don't mind cobwebs. I hate what makes the cobwebs. So, if people know me, I am totally freaked out of spiders.
That is from the movie?
Yes, arachnophobia. I used to play with spiders growing up, but after that movie, even the little small spiders, man, when I see it, it just freaks the bejesus out of me.
So, we follow mentors, right? So one of our mentor is Darren Hardy. I know he doesn't know us, but we know him really well. So every day he has this daily tip that I follow. And I thought I would share with you one of the recent ones that he did. And it's about you and your goal, your ambition, where you want to be, right? And what he's saying is there are obstacles between you and where you want to be. And that obstacle can be a real obstacle or it could be an artificial thing that is just in your mind. Like a cobweb, for instance. It looks like a barrier or an obstacle, but all you have to do is brush it away and it'll go away.
Sure. I totally understand. I'm sure you can brush it away. That's what you're for.
Okay, that's what I know. Great. So the other thing is there are real obstacles like a wall.
Correct. You're not going to walk through a wall. You can brush that away.
Well, that depends on the type of wall, isn't it?
Oh, okay.
Right? The ancient Chinese walls, the rice paper, you just throw something over it.
That's true. Or you lick your finger and you just poke right through it, right?
There you go.
True.
So
That's
an easier
true.
barrier to overcome as opposed to maybe like a drywall, which just takes a little more effort, or a brick wall, a concrete wall, those walls surrounding the safe and stuff. So, there's different levels of obstacles and different levels of walls, right? So you know how runners, the marathon runners,
when they're hitting their brick wall.
Hitting the brick wall, it's actually imaginary.
That's so true.
So sometimes you just have to think about how to overcome it, right? So how do you like Superman?
Superman used to be one of my favorite heroes, but very inspiring, especially Christopher Reeves.
So, how his story, right? So he was your favorite Superman.
Yeah, he came from another planet and he grew up and became Superman, right? Is that what we're talking about?
Well, I'm talking about Christopher Reeves. But Superman, he played Superman in the movie.
Yes.
And he was really famous. My favorite is actually from this movie. I actually had never saw Superman in my life.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So it's one of those things.
Somewhere in time.
There you go.
Sorry about that. Don't quite know what happened. What happened here? Okay. Anyways. Okay.
So, he had an injury when he did the whole equestrian race thing, right?
Correct.
The horse thing that he fell out and he had a neck injury.
That's right. And that was actually a really horrific accident because he was actually an expert in horse racing and he loved horses. And it was just one of those freak accidents that should not have happened.
So what you might not know is that he was actually allergic to horses.
No kidding.
No kidding. I actually know someone else that did exactly the same thing. I grew up in Hong Kong, right? So my dad's an architect. He had a friend that's also an architect. And he has a daughter that is allergic to horses. But the whole family liked riding horses. So the mom actually forced the daughter to go to ride a horse every day. until she got used to it and she overcome the horse allergy. I'm not saying you should. I'm just saying there are people that can do it. Christopher Reeves, the Superman, did it, and my friend also did it.
And after his neck injury, that didn't stop his career, right? A lot of people will think that after you break your neck and you become a quadriplegic, life ends, and because he was paralyzed from the neck down.
He was, and he had he was paralyzed, and it actually he stayed in a wheelchair and ventilator basically for the rest of his life.
Correct.
And really, it takes 2 hours for him just to get out of bed, just to overcome all the pain, to actually get out of bed and put him on a wheelchair. But he has an unbroken spirit. Even with that kind of wall, I would call that a concrete wall
for sure. Yeah, most people would give it up.
He become an advocate for spinal cord injuries. He was actually still acted in a couple of movies, and he directed movies after the injury, and he wrote 2 books.
Wow.
So what's your reason for not finishing your book?
I'm working on it. My copywriter, my best friend Christy, she's gonna help me finish the book. It's gonna finish before we head over to Dubai.
Right. So even with that, that kind of barrier, he was still able to overcome all that, and he did so much. He actually had a Christopher Reeves spinal cord injury law that got put into place. That's the only one that was put into law.
Wow, that's amazing, because it's like behind the scenes, you don't hear about him anymore, but he's still being Superman in real life, right? He's still doing something that's superhuman, even though it may not be like in the movies, but his grit is amazing, right? Like, he's just not giving up. Because I remember after he broke his neck, he had to breathe through a ventilator, and he doesn't need a ventilator anymore, which is quite amazing.
Well, for sure. I mean, for what he did after the injury, I really call him a real life Superman.
Yeah, for sure, for sure.
And what's interesting is, he actually did participated in a lot of stem cell research.
The stem cell research is one of the things that is on forefront that everyone should be looking into, because that is your natural way of your body's rebuilding itself. And, it's a shame that more people don't realize how powerful stem cells are for you.
Yeah. And, it's just one of those things that if you're looking for a magic pill, your body is the magic pill. Your body knows exactly what to do to heal it. You just have to give it the chance, right? You just have to give it the right ingredients, the right tools so your body can work.
Exactly. The proper support to get it going, right? Because it has the, innate ability to heal itself, right?
For sure.
Yeah.
So the story is the lesson to the story is that even real obstacles, no matter how big it is, how big your challenges are, it can be overcome.
And that is so true, because a lot of people say, wow, that just takes too much time, or that's just too much work, or I don't have the money, or what are people going to think about me? Like, these are all imaginary walls that, to be honest, doesn't matter. Who cares what people think about you, as long as you're doing what you believe you should be doing and you're helping people with what you believe in.
Yeah, I mean, because when you're talking to a lot of people, they say, oh, I want to do this, but I don't have the money, or I don't have time, or I have to take care of my kids.
Mm-hmm.
There's too much competition. It's not perfect. I can't let it out, or I'm too busy. All of these is not a brick wall.
No, it isn't. And it's just basically excuses that you're making for yourself, for sure. These are all walls that is stopping your ambition from manifesting.
For sure. And I know you've met a few people that has overcome major obstacles, and they got to do what they want to do.
Yeah, and one of the speakers or business community guests is one of those people. She's going to be coming back as a speaker, but she is our featured guest for today for a local business. And I don't want to ruin her story, but man, when I saw her, she really inspired me to think, wow, I really have no excuses to do what I need to do.
So you get a taste of her today in the community section later on. But first, we're going to go through a couple of videos, and then we're going to bring Dy in.
Yes, then we're going to have our special guest, Dy Vick, with a body to die for.
Body to die for.
Yeah, body to die for.
I like it. We'll come back later.
We all hope to age gracefully so we can enjoy our later years full of energy, vitality, and good health. But so often, with age, our bodies start to show signs that things just aren't as they used to be. Our energy, skin, healing and recovery time, sleep, it all just seems to go downhill. Unless you're using LifeWave X39, the world's first product ever to activate stem cells. A true breakthrough in regenerative science that helps restore our bodies to a healthier, more youthful state. The secret? By harnessing the power of LifeWave's patented phototherapy, X39 uses light to elevate a peptide proven to signal the activation of stem cells. Think about it. These are the cells that generate and regenerate all the cells and structures of the human body. They're the building blocks for our organs, tissues, blood, and immune system. They also serve as an internal repair system everywhere. But as we age, stem cells become less effective. Their ability to repair damaged tissue is reduced. In fact, by age 60, they've slowed dramatically. But all that changes when just one LifeWave X39 patch is placed anywhere on the body each day. It's time you experience the power of X39.
Hey everybody, welcome to Kids Corner. So I bet you that you struggle getting your kids to drink water and trying to get them away from sodas and those electrolyte drinks that are really just a bunch of sugar. So I have a quick drink this, not that solution that your kids will like. And I'm going to recommend a brand. It's the Ultima brand of electrolytes. This blue raspberry flavor I really like because when you put it in your water, it turns it blue. But it's not blue from food coloring. It's blue from spirulina, which is very, very healthy for our bodies. And the electrolyte effect really goes down into that cellular dehydration that our bodies typically have. We're so mineral deprived now that we really need to do something to boost that. So this is a really simple way to get your kids to drink it because it's blue and they won't be embarrassed around their friends thinking they're drinking something different. And it tastes good without the sugar. So that's my tip for this week. This is October, so with Halloween coming, yeah, it's going to be challenging to get the kids to stick to the healthy stuff. Okay, that's it for this week. Ciao. Hello, and welcome back to the Chronically Healthy Life show. I am so pleased to welcome our guest today, Dy Vick, the owner and founder of A Body to Die For.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, yeah, who does not want that? Everybody on the planet. So Dy has been helping people get their lives back for 2 years now and counting.
Yes,
And she gave me a little taste of her story, so I'm going to jump right in here and say, Dy,
yes.
what inspired you?
Yes, quite the story, quite the journey. I would say my journey with physical health started in undergrad. I was a sophomore. I was overweight. I mean, we hear like how freshman 15 is a thing. We gain weight. But by sophomore year, it was like sophomore 30 for me, and it was just gradually increasing. I did not like the way my body looked, feel, how I was moving. So I started the process of just, started my fitness journey. A couple of years later, I ended up in Houston. I finished grad school, got my master's in social work. But I didn't like it. I still found myself helping people with the body, right? I would go to my social work job and I'll start doing push-ups and just working out became life. It happened very, very quickly. So fast forward, I started training first, and then one of the first individuals that I met when I moved to Houston, he asked me, would you like this job? I had no experience whatsoever, but I've always been open. I knew I grew up on the principles and the values of helping people help themselves. Personally, I didn't care what that looked like. I just, wanted to help people help themselves. I do believe everybody have the capacity to do so. Some people just need an extra push. So I said yes to the opportunity. And I got certified as a stretch therapist. For 7 months, it was kind of hard for me to adjust because I was fighting, I'm going to school for 6 years, getting a degree and not doing anything with it. But after that seventh month, the gratitude started changing. I realized my degree wasn't wasted. I was still able to help people. It just looked different. So as it relates to the body, how I was allowing individuals to leave the stretch sessions feeling better, it began to drive me to chase that feeling even more. I started off with the company, became an entrepreneur, started my own business, and here I am now helping, just individuals, not just in the mental aspect, but physical too.
Yes. Let's go back to that what you just said about how the stretching helped them. Tell me what was happening with that. What were you observing? What were you noticing with your clients with the stretching?
Well, everybody's body is different. The experiences we have, whether we grew up in sports, whether we grew up, sitting still. There was a lot of external factors and even internal factors too that played a part in each individual. So I had to learn how to meet them where they were. So for instance, if somebody came in off of having hip surgery, having a hip replacement to be more specific, I will have to take it easy, work their mobility back into it because they just went through a period of inactivity. And then you got those individuals who are office workers, they're sedentary, and they come in with, low back pain, tight hips, again, that stiffness. So it looks different for everybody, but it started with me, having the desire to meet people where they were, and then going from that. Each session, we come in, set specific goals, something to get out of the session that's going to help them overall feel better or feel good doing the things that they enjoy doing, whether it's playing sports, whether it's sitting at the computer all day, but it varies.
Yeah, so that's really important to start where you are. I think too many people try to jump in too fast.
Yeah,
and it's
you don't have to, bridging it slowly but surely, you'll get to the end goal and it'll be more like sustainable. I like to encourage people to stretch simply because it's maintenance for our bodies. Like as we get older, as we age, our body, tends to stiffen up, and that can be due to, sarcopenia, which is basically the loss of muscle mass. And if you don't have that muscle mass, how can you, function to do the things that you need to do, whether that's taking groceries to the house, sitting, standing, even walking. But slowly but surely, just doing what you can while you can is going to help you maintain that muscle mass, like as we get older, which ultimately improves the quality of your life. Who doesn't want that?
Yes. And I love the idea of the stretching, because I think, I've been guilty of this where I've thought, I have to start working out. And in my imagination, I'm having to run around a track, which I hate running. I will walk. I love to walk, but I hate running.
Yeah.
And then, go and spend it lifting weights, which that's not even realistic for me. Maybe 15 minutes is about realistic for me. But
you get what you can.
Yeah.
Yes.
But the stretching is something that I can do all day, every day. Like I can take breaks from my computer and I can do it in my own house and keep myself limber without having to go anywhere or do anything. And that really, that you find that makes a huge difference in people's mobility. Yes.
And yeah, like you mentioned, it does not take long, just setting aside 3 to 5 minutes to, relax your neck and shoulders from just getting out of that position of being, like here. It helps. You will feel like relief. And sometimes it's almost instantly, but like you mentioned, start where you are, whether that's 3 minutes, 5 minutes, or even 10 minutes. You're doing a lot more and a lot better now. That's going to set you up for a greater quality of life as you age.
Absolutely. And even if you are, in the over 50 set,
You're like, I felt that. I felt that.
Yeah, you can still start where you are. I think that every day. I think start where I am now. Don't worry about yesterday. Don't worry about tomorrow.
Here is here. You know, here is here. I've had clients that, like I say, I can tell a story how, you know, everybody's body is different. I have had clients who went into retirement and they were so looking forward to it. You know, they were just, I don't have to go to work. I'm just going to sit and watch TV. And it sounds good, you know, after working X amount of years, right? But over time, they realized like this is the worst thing I could have ever done to my body, because why does my back hurt? Why can't I, you know, my hips hurt, you know? But even for them though, just them knowing that stretching is something that can help them, and it's corrective too, you know, so it doesn't matter. So that's the type of style I do, corrective stretching, you know, fixing those muscular imbalances. Sometimes we tend to favor one side more than the other. You know, we might be right dominant instead of left dominant. But I say all that to say, you know, it's corrective. You know, you're not too old. It's never too late to start stretching.
Oh, I like that. I had never thought about that before.
Yeah.
Corrective. So now my mom's been through physical therapy a couple of times for injuries.
Okay. Yeah.
And they did a lot of stuff, but I didn't really see them stretching her. But I did notice that when I took her into the swimming pool and stretched her, because the water was supporting her, she advanced a lot faster.
And the resistance, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
There's different techniques to stretching. One of the things that you mentioned about the water, the resistance also helps, you know, one's mobility, especially, you know, the older population. Another type of stretching that in addition to corrective, you have resistance based, where, well, I'm also assisting you in stretching, by the way. So I'm applying some type of resistance and allowing you to press against it. So not only are you being stretched, but you're also being strengthened as well. You know, tend to go like hand in hand. You have muscle mass that can increase or decrease, and then you have that muscle strength too. That's either going to go, you know, be strengthened, or you're going to lose it as you go. But
that makes sense. So like you push this way, and then I would push you back this way, and then I'm getting it from both sides.
Correct, and you're able to achieve a more like beneficial stretch, as well as allowing your body to enter a range of motion safely. And that's what I want to highlight too. Stretching helps prevent injuries, right? Because your muscles are more, you know, elongated. They're more flexible. They're more mobile. They can actually perform the way they were intended to. Intended to. And then, you know, just entering the new ranges of motion safely is important. You don't want to overdo it. That's why, again, starting, you know, from 0 to 1 to 1 to 2 is super important. You know, you're not going to be 60 and feel like you're 15, you know, by tomorrow. But if you start at 60 and you know, gradually work your way in, come on, age backwards. Age backwards.
Aging backwards. Yeah. Aging backwards is a good thing.
Come on. I'm telling you, that's quality of life, you know. I want to encourage people to, you know, continue doing the things that they love to do, you know, but feeling good while doing it. You know, like whatever that looks like to you. We all have different desires. We all have, you know, different, you know, interests. But whatever that looks like for you, you know, just decide that I want to feel good doing it. And you can simply start by stretching 3 to 5 minutes a day.
Wow.
Yeah.
You know what? I used to be a teacher, and I noticed how all the kids are like this all the time.
Hunched over.
And even when we would let them go outside, which in my personal opinion wasn't enough, they would sit outside and do this. And I was always like, I'm going to take away all your phones and just say, go play. You guys go play.
Yeah.
But they would benefit from this too. So they don't, when they're in their 20s, they're not starting to act like they're in their 60s or 70s.
Too early, too soon. Absolutely. What we do now sets us up for later, you know. So I have been talking a lot about, like aging, but stretching as young. I've stretched clients as young as like 8. Parents will put them in sports. Soccer is like it's all year round. Basketball, football seasons, and to help enhance their performance, correcting their posture, reducing tension and tightness. I believe, like when I first started stretching, it was a very under-recognized field. It was an unrecognized profession. I don't know about you, but I know, like with me growing up, stretching in schools was not a thing. It was just, like go play. We're gonna practice. Nowadays, I know even with like KDISD, they have these stretch professionals like in there that are taking care of these teenagers' bodies because the demand they're putting on them is growing. We are raising like athletes. Like these individuals who are capable of going to the NBA, NFL, but what good is it for them to make it to the NBA, NFL if they're not taking care of their bodies along the way?
Exactly.
So starting young is super important too. You're getting ahead of the game, getting ahead of it.
Absolutely, and reducing your chance of injury, especially in high-risk sports like that.
Yeah,
yeah.
I just think about how damaging it could be, getting those deals signed and then, first game you're out. Like, no, let's take care of our bodies. It hurts. Like, I don't know, the football player, this wasn't like stretching related, but Inky Johnson was an individual who just got into the NFL and then he got like injured and was out. Like, my heart goes out for him.
Yeah.
But we can compare that with, with stretching though, just taking care of the body, making sure that your body is moving like as it should, if not better. Just being more mobile.
Well, speaking about a lot of people, I mean, I think pretty much everyone in the world now works on a computer, and maybe not all day, or I'm lucky enough that I can work when I need to and I can stop when I need to, but then there are those people who are in an office all day.
Correct.
And so is there something they can do, like they're at their desk or get up from their desk in their office without, something simple to help them?
Yes, absolutely. So a lot of us carry carry tension in our neck and shoulders. So making sure that we're doing, our neck circles, just breathing through it also, because stretching is more beneficial when the body is relaxed. That's where your flexibility and mobility is going to come from. But also, like I mentioned, you don't want to create more muscular imbalances. So let's make sure we're going in the opposite direction as well, showing the body equal love. Chin to chest is also another great one. So just dropping your chin to your chest, stretching that spine, and then taking your head back to that starting position. And then lastly, I'll demonstrate, ear to shoulder. So you're driving that ear to the shoulder, getting a nice stretch along this side here. And again, make sure you're doing the same thing on the other side. Yeah. And, you don't have to hold stretches for too long. There's a couple of different variations to stretching. Static is more common. That's basically where you hold a stretch in a certain position. But then you also have dynamic, which is where you're moving from one stretch to where you move from one side to the other side. I would recommend, moving more dynamically. That way the body is opening up naturally and you don't have to force it. Especially after coming off of, sitting still. You don't want to hold a position for too long, and that may actually cause injury. So.
Oh, really?
Yep. If you're moving on cold, yeah. It's putting too much strain on the body. So dynamic stretching is more beneficial. You're allowing your body to just flow. And before you know it, you're going deeper into the stretch. Your body can endure more.
Yeah.
But
what about like this?
Yep. Rotation. Yep. That works too. You got it. Let me find you stretching. Well, you're simply just moving, not allowing the body the opportunity to stay still for too long. It helps. But definitely make sure that you're relaxed and you're breathing through it. Inhaling on the inhaling through your nose, exhaling in your throughout your mouth, and your flexibility and mobility will increase over time.
For years, I mean, I think forever, when I get up in the morning, I've stretched for about 5 minutes because I'm typically got my low back especially, and this has been, I mean, since I was a teenager, where must be the bed or something, or being in a position for too long.
Yeah, it's a period of inactivity. You're just there. You're just there. But you're doing super well with just starting your morning off with stretching, allowing the body an opportune time to just wake up, to get to movement, elongate those muscles after being in that shortened position for X amount of time. Hopefully you're getting enough sleep though, because stretching, one of the benefits of stretching is improving your sleep too. So you get benefits on all ends with stretching. Yeah,
that's good to know too, because sleep is a big deal these days.
I'm telling you, it's super important. Like how you take care of your body now, your body will thank you as you get older. When you think about generations to come, like I know for me, I want to be, like 50 running around with 3-year-olds. I want to be 60, like riding bicycles. I don't want my life to be put on hold because I didn't take care of my body when I had the opportunity to, That's
and also that opens a door too for, we were talking about Christopher Reeve, which that broke my heart when he got hurt. I actually broke my back when I was 16 years old, but I was, and it was in a horseback riding accident. So I was it just hit me so hard, but I was fortunate because I didn't damage my spinal cord. So I never lost my ability to walk or anything like that. But for him, that was heartbreaking.
I can only imagine.
Yeah. And I think that, I didn't stretch. I stretched I just think when you're recovering from something like that, even though you're on restricted activity because you're letting bones heal, you can still move. Yes.
I'm so glad you said that. Like people think I'm crazy when I say like even if you just broke something, you still just want to do what you can. When you just broke your arm just broke. You're sitting in this position, but your mobility is slowly but surely just disappearing. But even if you just do a slight shoulder shrug, I'm not telling you to re-injure yourself, but just move as minimum as you can, so your recovery process isn't as as I'm losing my words.
Arduous.
It hurts with dust when you come back from it.
Right.
But moving, doing what you can while you can. If that's not been my message, so it's like this whole entire time, but just move while you can. Like our bodies are gifts, and how we steward them determines, our quality of life.
Yes. And also we tend to, because we're in pain, and usually when something like a broken arm, you're feeling that and your focus is on it, but the rest of your body can still move.
Yeah.
You just, like you can walk with a broken arm, you can walk still and keep those hips limber.
Yeah. I have a client that's going through, she's recovering from shoulder surgery, and during her surgery, she just sat still, now she's actually feeling like the regrets, like why didn't I move? Why didn't I do enough? Why didn't I take, like PT serious? And all that as well, you cannot get back, the time that was lost. But because you're more aware of it now, it's like, what can we do now, that can help us get back to where we want to be? And it's a little bit harder for her, to move now that she's been through a period of inactivity. But the strides I've seen, with her wanting, her body, her mobility back, wanting her flexibility back, having the willingness to do the not so easy thing all the time because of that pain. But there's breakthrough, going back to how stretching is corrective. It's never too late to start, but have that willingness, want to take care of your body, want to feel better, and it's yours, it's yours.
Yeah. And this is the body you have to live in. It's not like you can move to the next body down the road.
No, steward it well. That's how my journey started. I wasn't taking care of my body, but because we have the opportunity, to do it, it's not too late. Just decide with your mind and go from there. Everything's going to add up.
Yes. And start small and manageable. I'm a big believer in no matter what you're starting,
Yes.
Start small and manageable, because baby steps along the way get you there.
Mhm.
Whereas, you know, and then when that big leap comes, it's because you prepped, you were ready.
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct.
Yeah.
That's the quote right there. I'm gonna throw it in my quote book.
Oh yeah. Feel free.
That's it right
Well,
there.
Dy, this has been a great conversation.
Yes,
I
ma'am.
think so many people are going to feel inspired now to, instead of going to the gym for an hour tomorrow, but just to do 5-minute breaks,
Mhm.
get off that computer, set your alarm, and do it.
Yeah. I really wish that, that, people, want to do this, because it helps, their bodies will thank them. So I hope I've encouraged, at least just one person to do it. It's not anybody. I'm glad I can, continue to help you, because that's what I stand on. That's my value.
Oh, that's beautiful. That's beautiful. Well, how can people reach out to you, Dy?
Right, absolutely. So I do have a website, www.abodytodiefor.com. I I did throw my name in there. It literally just fits with it. You can reach out to me by email, info@abodytodiefor.com, and or by phone. Phone number is 346-374-9454. And if you are in the Katy, Texas area, I do have a suite located inside of Bona Fitness, which is at 5007 East 3rd Street. I'd love to help you. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me by any of the ways shown here on your screen.
Oh, thank you so much. You
Thank
just
you for having
have
me.
such lovely energy, and
Thank you.
I think anybody would feel comfortable coming to you. All right.
Then I'm
All
done.
right.
Diligence.
Yeah. Okay. So when we come back, we'll stay tuned for the biohacking tip of the week.
Welcome to Chronically Healthy Life. So in our biohacking segment this week, I'm going to show you something that comes in black and white, but it's not patches. What I'm talking about is actually sesame seeds. Now, sesame is actually a fruit that is grown in Asia and Africa and the tropical places. And the seeds are taken out of the fruits, and then you can toast it, and it becomes a condiment of some sort. It's commonly used in salad. Some people, Asians, use it in, sit down. They use it they put it on top of rice, and you can put it on, I don't know, fried rice or steamed rice, or use that salad dressing. And of course, you have sesame oil, which is what we usually use in salad dressings, or Korean use it a lot in their marinated vegetables, in the meats. Sesame is actually a very highly nutritious ingredient. It's not just for it as a condiment. Sesame seeds, it actually lowers blood pressure. It relieves the pain and bruising. It helps with knee osteoarthritis. It boosts memory. It improves rheumatoid arthritis. It lowers cholesterol, and it fights infection. Now, it comes in black and white, just like we did white patches. Just like patches. So they're the white ones. That is high in nutritious. And the black ones is actually a little bit harder to find, but the black one is higher in minerals. So you can find either one of them and use them as you please. Now, black sesame seeds also has added calcium, so if you can find the black ones, great, and it actually looks great as a condiment on salads and on any kind of food that you're preparing. And it's crunchy. It has a little crunch. It's tasty. Most Asians love it. I love it. Now, there's one thing you may not know is tahini, which is the thing we use in making hummus for Mediterraneans. The tahini is actually a sesame paste, and you can actually smell it. If you actually smell it, it smells like sesame. So to make tahini, I bought mine, which is what I'm showing you. But when I'm researching for this episode, I found out how easy it is to make tahini. Sit down, Patches. And all you have to do is toast the sesame seeds, grind it up, and add a little bit of oil, and that's what tahini is. All right, so this is the episode on sesame. Next time, I'm going to show you how to make hummus using tahini. See you next week.
Hi, everyone. This is Christy Boyd Johnson of the Barefoot Learning Club. It is a sad fact that today politics have completely taken over the schools. Real learning has been sacrificed for political agendas. As a result, kids are not learning to read. We have second and third graders barely reading, except for those lucky kids who will read no matter what the schools do to them. Unfortunately, that is not the majority. When I was teaching, I watched how really good reading systems were systematically eliminated from the schools. I saw kids shutting down and believing that they were too dumb to learn. Worse still, by making reading unattainable, they are essentially stealing our kids' futures. So the rebel that is me went on a quest to find reading programs that really work, that work with our neurological systems to enhance and speed up the learning process. And the number one thing that needs to happen is that we have to teach our kids to read. That is why Alicia and I started the Barefoot Learning Club. We are giving everyone the opportunity to learn to read in a way that is simple, fast, and fun. Best of all, your kids will start having success and never again believe that they are too dumb to learn. Go to barefootlearningclub.com now and sign up. Join me in being a rebel and let's get our kids reading. If they can read, they can literally do anything.
Welcome back to the Chronically Healthy Life show. Each week, we love to feature, a business community, a community business that we know and trust. And this week, we got Kaye Griggs from KK's Cooking. Hi, Kaye. How are you?
I'm good. How are you, Andy?
I am doing awesome. So, Kaye, we spoke briefly. I got to get an idea of what you do for your business, and I was just so intrigued by what you do. Can you tell us a little bit a little bit of what you do and how you help the community?
I actually make meals for people who can't cook, don't want to cook, just plain don't have time to cook. So trying to get healthy meals on the table every night is a stress. And my job is to relieve some of that stress.
I love that. In today's busy times, even the people that love to cook, I love to cook most of the time. And sometimes, life gets busy. So I can see how you can be helping a lot of people relieve their stress on that. So when it comes to cooking, what inspires you to start this job? What inspired you to start helping people cook?
Let's just say lack of job. I'm an ex-in runner, and I couldn't find a job that suited what I wanted to do. So a friend of mine suggested just started cooking, and I was like, I can't do that. She said, people love your food, just do it. So that's how that came about and was birthed, KK's Cooking.
That's great. So for KK's Cooking, you cook for people. So how is this different from someone, say, calling Uber Eats for a meal?
It's actually a fresh meal. It is not a fast food meal. It is food. If they prefer organic or they prefer fish or no meat, vegetarians, I will work with what they would like as I do a customer survey to make sure I know what their likes and dislikes are.
Great. So you're basically making them a custom meal rather than making something off a preset menu. You're taking off like a custom survey, what they like, what they don't like, what they eat, what they don't eat, and you prepare a meal for them. Yes.
I prepare it all by myself, and they are packaged as they would like, either family style or separated out by all protein, all starch, all veggies, and they can mix and match. So I usually suggest they get at least 2 meats because you just never know. And it depends on the size of the family. So yeah, I do try to work with what they would like, and it just makes life so much easier. And it is not pre-planned off a menu. No, sir.
That is awesome. So from my understanding, last time I was talking to you, you're slightly different because you're not cooking them a hot meal that's going to be delivered to the house, right? You're actually doing meal planning for the week, right? Is that my understanding?
We can't do meal planning. If they would like to do their own cooking, I will
Okay.
meal plan with them. Otherwise, I do make the meal. And if they pick them up at certain times, if they say, I'm coming at 5,
Mhm.
I can have a hot meal ready for them. And
Oh,
they can
great.
take it
Okay.
home and eat.
Okay, great. But then you can have it set up for them where they can have it in the fridge or freezer ready to eat, right? Like something convenient
Yes.
rather than getting one of those horrible, no nutrition TV dinners you see in the aisles in the supermarkets. You're getting a home cooked meal straight from your refrigerator or from your freezer.
Yes. Yes. I do make meals that can be frozen. I
Mhm.
can make them so they can have them in the refrigerator a couple of days and it's not going to hurt anything. And they can have lunch leftovers, or they can have dinner the next night, or they can mix and match, like I said, and have something totally different from the first night. So yes, they are prepared meals in containers that are microwave safe, oven safe, whatever they require. It's how I make it for them. Yes.
That is amazing. That definitely does makes it a lot more convenient for people, right?
Yes.
And with you being home cooked, like we're not going to have any preservatives in the food, and that lot not no. Do you use MSG? I'm just
I
curious.
do
I'm just
not
curious.
use MSG. No, no, sir.
That is great because it's like I know a lot of people, they don't realize that there is a lot of MSG in all these delivery foods that's out there, and that is really what's giving the umami taste. But it's really the MSG that's giving you that flavor bomb. But there's so much studies. A little bit's okay, but it's not a good thing to have in your body. We never eat anything with MSG if we can help it, for sure.
Right. Well, I go as fresh as I can, and I'm getting to a point now where I'm making my own dressings, etc. So I don't have to use even the prepackaged things under those categories.
That is awesome. That's awesome. So when it comes to planning the meals, do you do all the shopping for all the raw materials before you cook for them too?
Yes. Yes. I do all the shopping. I come home, I parcel it out, and I can make the meal. Like I said, I do ask for at least a 2-day notice so that I can make sure that I've got everything available that they would like. So
that is awesome. And you mentioned that they want organic or whatever they want, you can shop specifically for their needs.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Well, one final question is, what is your specialty and style of cooking?
My specialty style of cooking is actually, believe it or not, comfort foods. Good old-fashioned comfort foods. People don't do those anymore, and there are ways to make those comfort foods we grew up with as kids very healthy, because that's what I do for me.
That is so great, because that is something that I miss a lot. I grew up with my mom cooking, and even now, sometimes I call my mom up and say, hey, Mom, remember that thing that you used to make? How do you make that? Because I crave it. It's not something that you can get. Comfort food is really hard to get. Even when you go into restaurants nowadays, it's really hard to get home-style comfort food. So, Kaye, what is the best way to get a hold of KK's, get a hold of you, to reach you, to start ordering meals, or to even get your meal plan store set up?
At kkkcooking@gmail.com is my email. 713-594-0816 is my phone number. If I don't answer, just leave a message. I promise I'll call you back.
That is so awesome. And for the people that's watching this, we're inviting KK back December 8th, and we're going to share some of the things that she has gone through. We're going to keep that in the bag right now. We don't want to give any surprises, but yeah, we're going to have her back as a special guest, and it's really mind-blowing, her story, and I would love everyone to make sure to catch that. But thank you so much for being our community guest this week. I will see you soon, KK.
Thank you for having me. See you soon.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Hello. Hello. We are Mutts and Meows Rescue, a 501c3 nonprofit, foster-based, no-kill group. Mutts and Meows Rescue pulls dogs and cats from surrounding shelters. in the greater Houston area. We even pick up dogs and cats abandoned on the streets. Mutts and Meows Rescue is foster-based and rely on your donations to keep rescuing. To know more about us is to know more about our furry friends and help them find their forever homes. Come visit us at Mutts and Meows Rescue on Facebook today and decide how you can make a difference.
We all hope to age gracefully so we can enjoy our later years full of energy, vitality, and good health. But so often, with age, our bodies start to show signs that things just aren't as they used to be. Our energy, skin, healing and recovery time, sleep, it all just seems to go downhill. Unless you're using LifeWave X39, the world's first product ever to activate stem cells. A true breakthrough in regenerative science that helps restore our bodies to a healthier, more youthful state. The secret? By harnessing the power of LifeWave's patented phototherapy, X39 uses light to elevate a peptide proven to signal the activation of stem cells. Think about it. These are the cells that generate and regenerate all the cells and structures of the human body. They're the building blocks for our organs, tissues, blood, and immune system. They also serve as an internal repair system everywhere. But as we age, stem cells become less effective. Their ability to repair damaged tissue is reduced. In fact, by age 60, they've slowed dramatically. But all that changes when just one LifeWave X39 patch is placed anywhere on the body each day. It's time you experience the power of X39.
Welcome back to Chronically Healthy Life. Now, I know we talked about being chronically healthy and how to be chronically healthy. We wanted to go a little deeper and show you why you may want to be healthy. And part of the us showing you talking about Christopher Reeves is that you need a purpose in life so that you want to live chronically healthy. You will watch Kaye's story in a few weeks, and she has an amazing story. Once you hear it, you don't even know how she got to where she is, but she did. And there are a lot of people that have a similar story. A lot of people that can overcome these brick walls to achieve what they wanted in life, and that's part of it. They have to be staying chronically healthy, just to have a life full of purpose, a life filled with love, and a life with great relationships. So next week we have another great guest for you, and of course join us here on Friday at 7 p.m. CST. You can also watch past episodes at watch.the360tv.com in the Vitality TV network. And also, we would love to hear from you. You can drop us your comments on our Facebook page, Chronically Healthy Life. Rewatch this episode and all past episodes on our website, chronicallyhealthylife.com, or on our YouTube channel. Or if you have anything to say, email us at anything@chronicallyhealthylife.com. We'll see you next week.
Hello, I'm Dr. Kimberly L. Wilson, also known as Dr. Burnout. You can catch me on Leadership Beyond Burnout on E360 TV on Thursdays at 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on the Vitality Network, where we focus on emerging women leaders and women leaders.